Welcome everyone to David Dudley Outdoors. And guys, I appreciate everybody who has been watching my videos, and it's been a fun journey. Okay. I want to talk about a very hot topic right now. And of course, that's the discussion that evolves around forward-facing sonar. There's so many things that we could talk about in this subject. But today's topic is this: who is responsible for our fisheries? And if you saw in the thumbnail, there's basically three components that's going to be involved in this discussion. Number one, forward-facing sonar, right? Forward-facing sonar. If you're not familiar with it, there's plenty of videos out there to watch. Forward-facing sonar. What is it? Item number two, or call it an item or whatever, is going to be our game and inland fisheries, our game wardens, our people who manage our fisheries that we fish. And of course, item number three is going to be the fishermen themselves. Okay? Where do we want to go with this? Through watching lots of videos, I've gathered a lot of thoughts from, whether it's through comments I've read, through people's podcasts that they've done. I want to challenge you in thinking about this. Is there a one item, or is it one category can we point our finger at? Because let's get real. Technology today, guys, it's here to come. It's here. We got 4G phones, now we're getting 5G, whatever. A technology has evolved. The same thing in our fishing industry. It has evolved to where we're at now. Like, think about it. Back in the day, we had the sound, I can't even do it, for internet, right? Thumbs up if you thought I did a good impression of that. But back in the day, that was it. We had dial-up internet, and then all of a sudden we started getting cable internet, and now we're into this lightning speed downloads. I mean, it's super fast. I'm just using that as a little example. We could even go back in time and saying how cars evolved and what we got now and blah, blah, blah. You get the point. The point is this: technology has evolved, and for centuries. Now, I think what's going to have to happen, do I think forward-facing sonar could put a little bit more weight on the amount of fish that are being taken out of our fisheries? Absolutely. Absolutely it can. Technology allows us to download a YouTube video in 20 seconds now versus old school way of overnight downloading. Some of you might be in that. Absolutely. Is forward-facing sonar going to affect some of our fisheries? I think it will. But in a general, forward-facing sonar on the opposite end has increased the intensity in fishing. It's introducing more and more people into fishing. You know, you can come at me and say, David, I've never used it and don't want to use it. And if you're more on the conservation side and you want to leave your computer, technology alone, hey, more power to you. I'm along that same lines myself. If you're one of those commenters, and please comment below because I will read your comments. If you're one of those, hey, I don't want all this technology, I just want to go out there and fish and just go after them old school way, then hey, I'm actually kind of on your side. I do enjoy going out there sometimes without forward-facing sonar and just catching fish, just beating the bank or whatever it may be, the mystery of not knowing where they're at and figuring them out versus a forward-facing sonar that literally tells you everywhere they're at. And I actually did a video on forward-facing sonar in a comparison to thermal imaging, okay? That will make sure you check out the description below. Check that video out. That was an interesting video. Now, on the other hand, so we've addressed forward-facing sonar. How can it affect our fisheries? Well, I think it can affect our eating fish pretty good. Bass fishermen are pretty conservative. We're going to throw them back. Now, where does the responsibility go from that? Let's talk about the game and inland fisheries. The game and inland fisheries have to step up their game also. They have to, we can't ban electronics because electronics are good. We can't do away with them and say they're the evil, they're so evil. Hey, we've been developing things over time, you know, and where the game and inland fisheries have to step up their game is regulating the fisheries that are out there. They need to be on top of this game. If they're going to keep our fisheries healthy and plentiful, they got to find newer technology to shock the fish, to hire more people to be at boat ramps and look at the creels that they're catching. And for the most part, when you're talking freshwater fishing, probably the top two fish that are targeted are going to be crappie and walleye and bluegill. Most people generally are going to throw bass back, largemouth, smallmouth, or whatever. But I think a lot of this new age of fishing and fishing techniques, it's going to have to, part of the responsibility is going to be on the game wardens or the inland fishery people to do creel studies and to keep our fisheries healthy. Because just catching a fish doesn't damage a fishery. Don't get that wrong. It educates them more to where we have to use different techniques, but it doesn't destroy our fisheries. Now let's look at a third one. The third one would be us in general as fishermen, okay? So I'm speaking to the forward-facing sonar people. There's no getting around it. You can't hide. And that's what's so fun about forward-facing sonar. You can't hide. I see you. Peekaboo, I see you, and I see you swimming to the left. I see you swimming to the right or thermal imaging. I see you running through the field. I saw you climb up a tree. I got you. You can't hide. Now, that don't mean we're going to be successful in taking them, but I think in the fisherman's aspect, it's a lot of the responsibility is us too. We got to be conservative. You know, when we have an opportunity to put 10 crappie in our live well and we probably only need 3 or 4, guys, throw them back. Throw them back. You ain't got to hoard it. You ain't got to sit there and keep 12 crappie, put them in your freezer, and then they get freezer burnt and you never eat them and you wasted that fillet. Okay? Or if you're out there and you're a walleye fisherman and you catch, you know, with the help of forward-facing sonar, you caught 20 walleye instead of 10 walleye. Guys, be conservative. Throw them back. Throw them back, guys. Just it's going to take a collective effort between, you know, game wardens keeping track of that, us keeping track of it, or just going out and maybe for days at a time, just enjoy nature without computer work. You know, forward-facing sonar, go out and enjoy the mystery of fishing. I enjoy that from time to time. I enjoy just turning off my electronics and going old school with a jitterbug, just going down the bank. I enjoy that. Make sure we take care of our fisheries. I don't think there's one person that we can point to. I don't think there's one we can't just point our finger at forward-facing sonar and say, you are the problem. No, actually, it's a good problem because it's introducing so many people into fishing. I love it. It's an exciting way to fish. But so is sometimes fishing without forward-facing sonar. It's exciting to know the mystery of it. So guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Make sure you check out the description below. Guys, I can't stress that enough. You want to see some of the top lures I'm throwing, click on it. Look, check it out. I don't talk about them a lot, but there are some secret stuff in that description below. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Make sure you hit that notification button, and we'll see you again on another video.